right, so all four Game 1 matchups of the 2022 MLB Wildcard Series were today, and yeah, we had some really interesting games. I mean, three of these four matchups ended in an upset. I mean, teams that were on the road, three of them, and had worse seedings, won. And so, yeah, I mean, it's obviously just Game 1. You know, a lot could change in Games 2 and, if needed, Game 3, but I mean, this is a three-game series. If you win Game 1, you've set the tone, and you already are pushing that opposing team up against the wall. So yeah, first we had a very strange, low-scoring, and short game. We had the Cleveland Guardians defeating Tampa Bay, the Rays 2-1 in Cleveland, and this was the only game where the home team won, the team with the higher seed won. Shane Bieber versus Shane McClanahan. Both pitchers were pretty strong in this game. I mean, you know, the sixth inning is where all the scoring happened. In the sixth inning, you know, obviously a home run for Jose Siri, a solo homer for Tampa, and that breaks open this game off Shane Bieber. You know, off the bat, it didn't really look like a homer, but it was sort of a line drive just out of the, you know, clears the fence. And so 1-0 Rays, but in the bottom of that sixth inning, Jose Ramirez responds, hitting a two-run bomb off of McClanahan, almost to the same spot that Siri did the previous inning. Ramirez, of course, a great player for Cleveland. That gives them the lead. They had that lead that entire rest of the game. Emmanuel Clase got the save. And, yeah, the Rays' offense in this game was very slow, but so was the Guardians' offense. I mean, you know, 2 runs, it's decent, but, you know, 1 hit, you know, per team really decided this game. So, yeah, 2-1 Guardians. I think the series still could go either way, but I think the Guardians, you know, they have set the tone for this series, and they are at home. Next, we have a very interesting series so far. Of course, the Mariners and Blue Jays. The Mariners in their first playoff series in 21 years. You've probably heard that many times now, but they win, shutting out the Blue Jays 4-0. It was, you know, of course, a very good pitching matchup. I mean, I feel like all 4 of these matchups had really good pitching matchups. Luis Castillo versus Alek Manoah, but Manoah struggled, and the Mariners pitching was great, shutting out the Blue Jays. So yeah, to kick things off in the top of the first, the Mariners already broke into the game. Eugenio Suarez drove in Julio Rodriguez with a double, and that made it 1-0. And then Kyle Raleigh gets a 2-run homer off Manoah in that same inning, and so that makes it 3-0. All of a sudden, you know, the Mariners have started this game off with a bang, yeah, Kyle Raleigh has been on fire lately, and he's pretty much the reason that the Mariners clinched the, you know, playoffs. He hit that homer, and, you know, he hit one here. Eugenio Suarez got an RBI forced out in the 5th inning, and that put Seattle up 4-0. The Mariners had great pitching the rest of the way and won this game 4-0. And yeah, I mean, you know, Castillo did good in this game as well. Of course, you know, very, very good pitcher. So yeah, 4-0 victory for the Mariners. Now we have another really interesting matchup, pretty much a choke. The St. Louis Cardinals and Phillies. Cardinals led this game pretty much, you know, when they needed to, and then we go to that 9th inning, 6 runs in 1 inning for the Phillies. But I'll get into that in a moment. The first run of this game came off of a Juan Yepez clutch pinch hit homer, and that was in the 7th inning. It broke open a 0-0 tie, and that was for St. Louis, putting St. Louis up 2-0. We had another good pitching matchup going into these later innings. Yeah, I mean, it was a pinch hit homer. You'd like to see that. It's cool. But, you know, then in the 9th inning, we would see Philadelphia absolutely come back and, you know, embarrass the Cardinals. So Alec Boehm got hit by pitch. There was bases loaded. That, you know, got them the run, made it 2-1. Gene Segura got a go-ahead single off the glove of the second baseman for St. Louis, and that made it 3-2. I mean, if he makes a play on that ball, who knows what would have happened. I mean, it was a very tough play, though. I don't blame him. And so, yeah, Straught got an RBI fielder's choice, and that made it 4-2. And good slide in there, scoring in that run. And so 4-2 Philadelphia. Then 5-2 Brandon Marsh gets an RBI single. And then 6-2 Kyle Schwarber sacrifice fly to get a little insurance run, hit that one deep. And it's 6-2 Philadelphia Phillies. And then the Phillies allowed 1 run. Nolan Gorman scored in the bottom of the 9th inning. Actually, Nolan Gorman was actually representing the tying run, so if he hits a homer, it's tied up, but he only scored in 1, and the Phillies won Game 1, so the Cardinals will have their backs up against the wall in Game 2. Then the final game, which was the biggest surprise to me, the San Diego Padres going into New York facing Max Scherzer, and absolutely destroying them, beating them 7-1, having Yu Darvish on the mound, having a great start from him. This was probably the biggest surprise, like I said. Yu Darvish, Max Scherzer, very good pitching matchup. Two pitchers that have 10+ wins this year. The pitching started out good until the Padres got a 2-run homer from Josh Bell, of course acquired this year, hit a bang off of Max Scherzer. And you could tell Max Scherzer from that point on was flustered. He had 7 earned runs in this game, and that home run really set the tone. So yeah, Josh Bell became the first Padres player in franchise history to hit a home run in his postseason debut. Yu Darvish was great. He struck out Alonso in the first inning. Trent Grisham got the Padres on the board again, hitting a solo homer to right field off Scherzer. Another moment where Scherzer was sort of fatigued, it seemed. The Mets offense really couldn't get much to go. And Jurickson Profar, former Oakland Athletic himself, gets a 3-run homer, a line shot down the right field line to make it 6-0 San Diego. So the Padres went up 6-0 on the Mets. Then it went up 7-0 as Manny Machado's solo homer crushed it to left field. I mean, think about how many homers that is already, and it's only the 5th inning. Now that would be the rest of the run, 7-0. The pitching was strong the rest of the way. Scherzer is the second pitcher to allow at least 7 runs and 4 homers in a postseason game, joining Gene Thompson in 1939. So crazy stat, especially from such a great player in Max Scherzer. Eduardo Escobar made the Mets avoid a shutout with a solo homer in the 5th, but it was 7-1 when it was all said and done. Yu Darvish, had a great game, and Luis Garcia sealed the win for the Padres. So those are all the Game 1 matchups for the wild card, best of 3 series, all of them. So all of them could go either way, but we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later, and yeah, peace out.